Guys, everyone. Good evening, guys. Oh boy. What's happening? Are you guys not up to it this night? If you are not up to it, we can leave it to guys. Hello. Where is the rest of the people? Where is everyone? You say you're tired. Are you sure we should not leave it for next time? EMP prior to the first day of class, so you may have a head start. Oh, well, what I usually suggest for to students is that you should first of all look at the syllabus, right? Talk to the other people that have taken the course. Look at the syllabus, look it out, check the outline, check your text. Usually, if you are taking AP2, if you have already taken AP1, then you probably have McGraw-Hill. Check McGraw-Hill, familiarize yourself with the text. Do you understand? If possible, you can actually get slides from the same slides from the prior students. It's the same thing. You understand? So that will help you. And also start watching the videos, topic by topic, review by review. You watch the videos, take down informations, write down questions so that whenever we get to the topic, you can always ask me that question. All right. So there are things you can actually do before you start your semester, and that will boost your chances of getting a very good grade in this course because the course is very large, very very large. You understand? So that's where students usually have difficulty. All right. So those are series of things you can do to have a head start. To be ahead of others. So you really have to interact with students that have already done those courses. You understand? And get proper information from them. All right. Okay. We have very few people here, so we are going to spend very little time, at least an hour or an hour 30 minutes, so that you can go about your business. I want us to discuss take discussions on digestive system. This afternoon we did water, electrolyte, and acid-base balance. And I believe that you guys, if you are not here for that class, please kindly go to the video and look at it again. All right? Very, very important. What's happening? How many are we here? We are 6. Where is everybody? We have to be up to 14 before we start to. So I'll give them 5 minutes. If not, we'll cancel the class, guys. So tell them we have to be up to. But they know that they are supposed to be here now. Why do they need to be called? Why? Why do they have to be called? So this is 8:10 already. I really wanted us to have an hour discussion and we disappear. We're still 11. Good evening. So first of all, I want you guys to know the difference between 5 things that they will be testing you on: ingestion, digestion, secretion, absorption, and compaction. You see these things, you must get a first-hand knowledge. Let me share my screen. You can see my screen, correct? Everybody, you can see my screen? Okay. Perfect. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Okay, guys. So first of all, to start up our discourse, I need you guys to know the difference between those 5 concepts I just mentioned. All right. So the first one is ingestion. The second one is digestion. The third one is secretion. The fourth one is absorption. The fifth one is compaction. You need to know each and every one of them. You understand? So what I need you to do is, if you have pen and paper, I need you to write process, core action, primary target. Those are the three things you need to arrange it in that format. Process, core action, primary target. Process, core action, primary target. All right. So the first process is what? Ingestion. So you can write the 5 processes, or you start with the first process, ingestion. What is the core action? Taking in food. Ingestion, core action, taking in food. You understand? So it's selective uptake of food into the alimentary canal. You understand? You are selectively taking food. You guys don't eat everything now. Me, for one, I don't even take anything that has dairy. Do you understand? So it's selective. I select what I eat. Make sense? So, and it occurs, the location exclusively in the mouth. That's oral cavity. You understand? And what is the action? So core action, taking in food. Primary targets, under that first one, under that ingestion, primary targets from the environment to the mouth. Number 2, the second one is digestion. What is digestion? Breaking food down. Like second process, digestion, core action, breaking food down. Primary target, macromolecules to what? Basic nutrients. So now we have to know the macromolecules that can be broken down and the ones that cannot be broken down. So breaking down food is the core action, macromolecules to what? Basic nutrients. Then number 3, process, secretion. What is secretion, guys? Secretion is the process of is the release of water, acid, buffers, enzymes, right? The release of water, acid, buffers, enzymes into the lumen of the digestive tract. Do you understand? And the location occurs throughout the entire GI, from the salivary glands to the large intestine. Do you understand? Very, very important that you know that. So secretion process, core action for secretion is adding fluids and enzymes. Primary target is the GI lining into the lumen, like the entire GI. You said I should repeat what? Secretion? Yeah, so secretion is the release, like pushing out. Yes, pushing out of water, fluid. What and fluid is that? Water, acid, buffers, enzymes, pushing them out into the digestive tract. That is what secretion. And the location, it occurs throughout the entire tract. Then the fourth one is what? Absorption. Absorption. Under core action of absorption. Absorption is uptake of nutrients, guys. Repeat primary targets for second. You need to be specific. Primary targets for what? Second, is it digestion or secretion? You should be specific on what you're talking about, please. So just give me the process and I'll give you the core action and the primary targets. So as you are doing that, absorption, we know what absorption is the uptake of nutrient molecules into the epithelial cells of the digestive tract and into the blood or lymph. So absorption, core action, pulling nutrients in for digestion. Okay, I'm coming. Absorption, pulling nutrients in. Primary target, lumen into the bloodstream or the lymph. Then for compaction, which is the last one, compaction is drying and packing waste. Drying and packing waste. You understand? I remember what I told you in class. If you don't do for 5 days, your body will be compacting your do and be dragging water out of it. And when you want to go and do the thing out, you'll not be using muscle. Do you understand? Because the thing will be very, very tight and dry. Some people will even be, immediately the thing come out from your, boom, like this. Tears will come down. Cha 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 cha. So that is what compaction, drying and packing waste. And primary target in indigestible what residue into solid physics. Indigestible residue into solid physics. Isana, I'll repeat digestion. Core action is breaking food down. Primary target is macromolecules towards basic nutrients. Okay. So that's the first thing I need you guys to bear in mind as I'm starting this discourse. We already discussed what digestive system does, all right? Very important that you people understand that. Hold on. No. Yeah, so if they ask you a question there, you'll be able to understand. And another thing I need you guys to know for this course, so this is everything we just discussed. Then remember deification. Everybody should know that now. This is mechanical breakdown, like cutting food down, churning in the stomach. It happens in the mouth, it happens in the stomach. And the reason is to expose more food surfaces to digestive enzymes. They may ask you which or why. Let me see if I. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So this is chemical digestion. So we have mechanical digestion, which is breaking down food. We have chemical digestion. You understand? And chemical digestion is a hydrolysis reaction. When you pour water, you break things down. Does it make sense? Thank you. When you pour water, you break things down. When you remove water, you build things up. So macromolecules are built up by what? Dehydration. But macromolecules are disintegrated by hydrolysis. Remember that. Now they will ask you this question. Let me give you a question, and you tell me the answer. An example of chemical digestion is the breakdown of dash into dash. You see? An example of chemical digestion is the breakdown of dash into dash. You understand? Let me give you some options. Let me give you options, don't worry. So an example of chemical digestion is the breakdown of dash into dash, proteins, nucleotides, proteins into nucleotides, amino acids into proteins, polysaccharides into amino acids, nucleic acids into nucleotides, fatty acids into cholesterol. What is the answer? What was the answer, guys? An example of chemical digestion is the breakdown of dash into dash. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Do I have only 4 people here? I have more than 20 people here. So let's go, guys. Hit the button. So if you pick D, you're correct, guys. If you see, listen, feel free to pick whatever your heart tells you to pick. All right. Assume that this is an you are in the exam hall. Do you understand? That's what you have to assume. So don't just a minute. Let me get this question. So you have to assume that you are in the exam hall, all right, and just pick an answer. You are trying yourself out, all right. So that's what you need to do. So if you don't, if I have a problem you want me to explain, just tell me 911 or emergency. So an example of chemical digestion is the breakdown of nucleic acid into nucleotides. Think about it. Proteins. When you break proteins, does it give you nucleotide? No. It gives you what? Proteins gives you amino acid. Can you see the slide? Proteins gives you what? Breaks down into what? Amino acids. So that answer, first answer, is wrong. You see? Second one is amino acids to proteins. Amino acids is already the broken version of what? Protein. So they interchanged it. That's why it's wrong. The third one is polysaccharide to amino acids. Polysaccharides actually break down to what? Monosaccharides. Example of polysaccharides is like starch. You understand? Glycogen. Those are polysaccharides. And when you break them down to simple sugars. Do you feel me? So you don't break down to amino acids. Instead, proteins break down to what? Amino acid. Look at the last one. The last one says fatty acid, cholesterol. Fatty acids, they break down into what? Monoglycerides and what? Rather, fats break down into monoglycerides and fatty acids, not fatty acid breaking down. Wisdom. Put your hand in your head and say wisdom. Smile when you are saying it. Wisdom. Do like this. Say wisdom. Sharp, sharp, sharp. So that's what you need to do. So when you know it like this, you are good to go. There's no way they can trick you. Another way they can trick you is by telling you, oh, there are some nutrients so that cannot be digested. Like, for example, I'm drinking water. This is what I drank now. Does it break down into anything? No. It will be taken into my bloodstream like that. It doesn't need to be broken down. Apart from water, what other things does not need to be broken down? Look at it here. Vitamins, amino acids, minerals, cholesterol. So if you take vitamins now, it won't be broken down. It will just enter your bloodstream like that. And you people that are drinking cholesterol, once it enters your bloodstream, it goes straight. Once it enters your body, it goes straight to your bloodstream. It's not broken down into anything. Quick. That's why you need to be very careful. All right, so you need to know the things that cannot be what? Broken down, like what? Water, vitamins, amino acids, cholesterol. Extremely important. All right. Okay. Another thing you need to know, what are the main digestive organs? Look at them. What are the accessory digestive organs? Look at them. Don't let yourself be fooled when you see something like this. All right. So this is we have subdivisions. Digestive tract, mainly digestive tract, where food passes. Anywhere the food passes is among the main digestive tract. Like what? Like the mouth, like the pharynx, like the esophagus, like the stomach, like the small intestine, like the large intestine. Those are where food passes. But any other thing that food does not pass through, but it supports, we call it what? Accessory. Accessory. I was watching a crime fighter stuff the other day, and they were saying, oh, this person is sent to prison, 15 years in prison for being an accessory to murder. He didn't kill the person, but in a way or two, he supported to the events that led to the death of the person. So it becomes accessory. So that's how you need to remember accessory. So whenever you are thinking about accessory organs, if they give you options, think about it. Ask yourself, which one are the organs that the food does not get to? And which one, even as the food does not get to it, which one really gives the food something? Do you understand? And each of these accessory organs, they have something they give. Like the teeth helps to grind, the tongue helps to mix, salivary glands helps to wet. If I'm saying wet, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know where your mind is going to. Then the liver helps to produce bile. You see, gallbladder helps to store the bile. Pancreas, gives digestive enzymes. So you need to know what they do specifically, because your question can be, what does this particular accessory organ do? You understand? And you need to know which one is. Hey, Jesus, Dora is laughing. This is how we know evil people. Evil people. Eh? Okay. So now you know accessory organ and the things accessory organ they do. You understand? But one of the places I'm very interested. Oh, hold on. One of the places I'm very interested. You see this diagram? Please look at it. They will like to make sure you understand the diagram. This is another place you need to know very, very well. This is another slide you need to know very well. You understand? Most of the digestive tract follows a basic structural plan. Do you understand? Basic. Yolet is still laughing. Oh God. The people God need to save, they are much. Let me wet my mouth. See my eyes. Okay. So so let's look at layers. These layers are extremely important, right? And what is even more important is what they do. You understand? So look at it, guys. This is the mucosa. This is the innermost layer. All right. They ask you the innermost layer. You are thinking of what? You are thinking of the mucosa. I don't want to talk too many this night because we don't have much time. You are talking about the mucosa, is the innermost layer. So, guys, I want you to think of the digestive tract like this. You see how I'm moving? Watch how my mouth moves. This is how it moves. From the epithelium, lamina propria is the next thing you see. Then muscularis mucosa. After that, you see the submucosa. Then the muscularis what? Externa. The muscularis externa is divided into inner circular layer, outer longitudinal layer. Apart from the stomach that has inner circular layer, outer longitudinal layer, middle inner layer, circular layer, and diagonal this thing. What is it called? Diagonal interior inner layer. All right. But don't worry, I'm going to get you to that place. So first of all, know it this way: mucosa, epithelium. After epithelium, remember the epithelium is non-vascularized, so it doesn't have blood vessel. That's why we have a connective tissue under it, which is lamina propria. And connective tissue, lamina propria is scattered, so it's not strong. So what do we have? We have muscularic mucosa to hold them up. Hold them up. All right. It's not a very strong muscle. It's just a little muscle like that to hold them up. Then after that, we have the submucosa. There we find what the muscularis was externa. This muscularis externa is a very strong muscle that has inner circular and outer longitudinal. This is what helps what? For peristalsis, because it's very strong. That's what causes the contraction. So when they ask you peristalsis, what are you thinking about? You are thinking about what? Muscularis externa. Muscularis what? Say it. Talk. Muscularis what? The spirit told me that only 4 people talked. Too bad. Now, when they talk about the outermost layer of the digestive tract, is composed of a thin layer of areolar tissue and simple squamous epithelium, right? So this is the areolar tissue. You understand? This is the simple squamous epithelium, mesothelium. What are they talking about? They are describing the serosa. They are describing the what, guys? Serosa. So I want you in your book, right? Serosa. Another name for serosa is mesentery. Another name for serosa is what? Mesentery. All right? So, epithelium, the blood vessel, lamina propria, the things that holds them, that's muscularis mucosa, submucosa. You understand? Then we have the muscularis externa, inner circular, outer longitudinal. Then we have the outermost, which is what? The serosa, made up of what? Areolar tissue and what? Simple squamous epithelium. Brothers and sisters, if they ask you, what is the epithelium of the serosa? Please, the answer is what? The answer is simple squamous epithelium. And it is what? The externa. And another name for serosa is what? Mesentery. You can't forget this. Because I've seen a lot of exams where this kind of thing comes out. They can ask it in any dimension, any angle. So I need you to know the concepts. All right? Yeah. So serosa, yes. Another name for serosa is mesentery. Okay. Let me ask you, let me give you guys this question. See this question, guys. What's the answer? The serous membrane that suspends the stomach and intestines from the abdominal wall is called the what? It's called the what? More. You need to write answer. Write an answer. You must put an answer in the box. Guys, we are 20 something people here. Everybody needs to talk, all right? Where is this? Where is everybody's energy this evening? Hmm? What's happening, my people? Are you guys low on energy? Go and drink water. One, two, three, four. No, I need up to 10 people. Let's go, guys. Let's go. What is holding us up? Let's go, guys. Somebody say 911. Let's go, guys. So the answer is mesentery. You guys are very correct. The serous membrane that suspends the stomach and intestine from the abdominal wall. Anytime you hear suspend, just know it's mesentery. All right. You guys need to have energy. You need to have energy. Anytime you hear suspend, just know it's what? Mesentery. All right. And another name for serosa is also mesentery. So you need to understand that concept. So look at this question, guys. I need you to arrange this thing for me in order quickly. Quickly. Tell me which one is correct. Tell me which one is correct. Let's go, guys. One, two, three, four, five, six. Hey, what's happening to the energy of my people? Okay, guys, look at this diagram, or rather, go study the diagram at your leisure because it's in your text. All right, it's in your manual. So look it up later. You see, this is very straightforward. This is exactly the same thing I mentioned here. Look at it now. That was why I was hitting on without even using that diagram. If you use this slide, look at this slide, this particular slide I'm going to project. Look at it now. You remember when I was saying it goes down this way? That's exactly what they're asking you. Look at the first option, lamina propria. Lamina propria. They just jumped the epithelium, right? They say which of the following list which of the following lists some of the tissue layers of the digestive tract? Which one has them in correct order from lumen to external surface? That means they're asking from in to out. From the lumen to the external, from in to out. So lamina propria, yes. You see, this is lamina propria, yes. The next one is muscularis mucosa. Look at it. Does it follow? Yes. Next one is submucosa. Does it follow? Yes. Muscularis externa, yes. Serosa, yes. So number one is correct. Look at the second one. Look at the second one. The second one says serosa. You see, second one started from serosa backwards. It's not possible. They said lumen towards external. Second one is out. B is out. C says mucosa. Let me see. Mucosa. Correct. Next, submucosa. Muscularis. What? Mucosa. No. So it went mucosa, submucosa, then came back to muscularis mucosa. So the person that chooses C, you see why C is wrong? Because he said mucosa, submucosa, then he came back to muscularis mucosa. No. As I mean, it says mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa. I will agree. Okay, let's look at the D. D says mucosa, mucosa, muscularis mucosa, muscularis mucosa, submucosa. You keep going. What's the next one? Muscularis externa. Serosa. What did he say? Lamina. He came back to lamina propria. It's wrong. It's wrong. This here lamina propria is. That's why it's wrong. Then look at E. It says mucosa. Yes, I agree. Submucosa. I agree. Muscularis externa. I agree. Lamina propria. Serosa. That lamina propria made it wrong. Who is confused? Anybody? Are we good to go? Did we do justice to it? Yes? Okay. Understood. Perfect. Perfecto. Perfecto. So there's something I also want to show you. So you need to know some of these functionalities. Submucosa, okay. Submucosa has molds, okay. Everybody knows that. This muscularis externa, you understand? The inner circular helps to fix sphincters, and you guys know what sphincters are. Sphincters like the cardiac sphincter, the pyloric sphincter, that helps to stop food from going backwards. All right, like the cardiac sphincter stops food from moving from the stomach back to the to the esophagus. Why the pyloric sphincter stops food, you understand, moving backwards and forward, usually even forward. Do you understand? Because if it's open like that, food from the stomach will just pour into the duodenum and burn up the duodenum. So instead, it will tighten the duodenum and be releasing it as what? Squirt. Squirt. Why are you laughing? Talking about squirt of food. Food. Squirt. Pum. Like this. It blocks it. Pum. It blocks it. Why? It doesn't want to pour it too much so that the acid does not corrode the duodenum. Okay. And also the muscularis externa, the outer one, is responsible for what? Motility. This one is extremely important. Motility, for the motility that propels food and residue through the tract. All right. I believe everybody understand that. Then we know what serosa is. We already discussed it. Now, guys, I want you to look at the enteric nervous system. Yeah. The enteric nervous system is nervous network in the esophagus, in the stomach, and in the intestine. It regulates digestive tract motility, secretion, and what? Blood flow. It regulates these three things. Digestive tract, it regulates digestive tract motility. That's peristalsis, contraction, relaxation. Motility, secretion, and what? Blood flow. It squeezes those glands to pour out their secretions. More than 100 neurons make up what? The enteric nervous system. And they can function independently of the central nervous system. You understand? But in as much as that, the CNS still gives it what? Advice like an elder brother. Very, very important. Now, that enteric nervous system, enteric means inside. The nervous system inside the gut is divided into two. One, we have what is submucosal plexus, and the second one, we have what? The myenteric plexus. Submucosal plexus. You understand? Submucosal plexus. Another name for submucosal plexus is Meissner's plexus. Another name for myenteric plexus is Albach's plexus. All right, but you are going to see it during the course of this discourse. So I need you guys to understand what this thing is about. You get? And these neurons are usually found in the submucosa and the muscularis externa. Look at this diagram, guys. You see this diagram? You see the myenteric plexus. Where is it found? It's found in the muscularis externa. You see? This is the submucosal plexus found in the submucosa. Do you get? So the two plexuses are actually found in the submucosa and also in the muscularis externa. You must know that. The enteric nervous system is found in the submucosa and in the muscularis externa. All right? Any question, guys, for me? So far, we are good. So remember mesenteries. You understand? Mesenteries are just connecting sheets. I told you initially, they prevent intestines from becoming twisted and tangled by changes in body position and by its contractions. All right? Just imagine there is no mesentery, and you guys that went out on foot to go and dance and twerk and do all those things, and as you're just twerking like this, your intestine is twerking with you, tying. Without the mesentery, the intestine will be twerking. When you are not even going around, it will help you to go around and be dancing around and be dancing around. And before you know it, you will catch yourself in the hospital. You collapse. You catch yourself in the hospital. You know, but because of this mesentery, no matter what you guys did on foot, all of you are fine. You see? If you like somersault, you are still fine. Why? The mesentery helps to keep everything in shape and in position and still allow it to have a relative range of what? Motility. That's what you guys need to understand. And also, blood vessel passes through the mesentery. Do you understand? Just like if you have connections in the house like this, a lot of wires, what do? You pack the wire into something. That's what it is. The mesentery is that thing you pack the wire into. And it still gives us structural rigidity to the contents of the stomach, of the abdomen. Very, very important. So it suspends the intestine and the stomach. So bear that in mind. Okay, so we have parietal and we have what? Visceral. You guys know that this thing. Now, we have the lesser omentum and the greater omentum. You guys know what lesser omentum and greater omentum is. Lesser omentum goes from the stomach upwards. Stomach upwards to the kidney, to the liver, like this, in this diagonal format. But that's lesser omentum. From the lesser curvature of the stomach. The lesser curvature of the stomach is superior. Now, the greater curvature of the stomach is inferior. See how my hand is? See how my hand is? Maybe I do my hand like this. This is lesser curvature. This is the greater curvature. So this lesser curvature, the lesser omentum moves from here to the liver. So if you see it, you'll be able to know that this is lesser omentum. Then the greater omentum flaps down from here, down. So this is my intestine. It flaps down here to cover the entire intestine. Okay? So that is it. Let me see if... No, all these ones are simple things. No need. Okay, guys. Please, you need to follow as I'm. See, so this is the greater omentum. You see here, this is greater omentum. I believe you can see my slide. And this is lesser omentum. From the lesser curvature of the stomach, this is the greater curvature of the stomach. All right. So look it up later. We already discussed the neural control, the short myenteric plexus, and the long vagovagal reflexes. All right. Short myenteric reflexes, stretch or chemical stimulation acts through myenteric plexus, right, to propel contractions. Extremely important that you know this. Now, there are some hormones that are very, very active, like what? Like gastrin and secretin. You understand? You know what hormones are? Hormones are actually chemical messengers that they pour into the blood and it goes to distance places. That's the difference between hormones and what? And paracrine secretion. Paracrine secretion is very like, see these two brothers. If I want to push something from here to here, paracrine. But from here to that my door that is far, I use what? Hormone. And how do I do it? I pour it into the blood. There's no channel, just the blood. Extremely important that you guys understand this. Huh? Understand the concept. Okay. Now you need to know the functions of the mouth because you'll be asked some questions. Functions of the mouth. You need to know. I'm not going to waste time on it, but you need to know. And you need to know that there's oral fissures, forces. Then the mouth has stratified. I told you anything facing outward. For you guys that were in my first anatomy one, you understand? I told you anything facing outward is what? Stratified squamous epithelium. The mouth is stratified squamous epithelium apart from the hard palate of the mouth. You see? Aha. Our esophagus is facing outward, so it's stratified squamous. Your anus is facing outside, downwards. So it's stratified squamous. Your vagina is facing outside, so it's stratified squamous. Do you understand? So that's how you used to, these things. Stratified squamous, non-keratinized. They are non-keratinized. You understand? Yeah. The hard palate is stratified squamous, but it's what? Keratinized. That's the difference. Hard palate is keratinized. All right? Extremely important. Hard palate and gums, they are keratinized. Gums, they are keratinized. Others are non-keratinized. So just remember this, and I tell you, that's how you'll be able to, not forget. Okay. Then you need to know. Let me see. Okay, I want to ask you this question. Clear. Okay. Look at this question. Please, I need you to ask me a question no, if you need to be cleared. If you need to be cleared of anything. Oh, what am I doing? So, guys, let's attempt this question. Dash is a hormone, whereas dash is an enzyme. Everybody. We have enteropeptidase and pepsin. Enteropeptidase as hormone, pepsin as enzyme, gastrin, secretin, gastrin cholecystokinin, gastrin lipase, gastric lipase, and histamine, then secretin and pepsin. Quickly, guys. Quickly, guys. Okay, guys. The answer is secretin and pepsin. Secretin is a hormone, pepsin is an enzyme. You need to remember this. You need to know this. You understand? The secretin is a peptide hormone that is produced and secreted by the S cells in the duodenum of the small intestine. You must know this. Basic. You understand? When there's an acid entering the stomach, it's released. An acid chime. You understand? When there's an acid chime entering the stomach, the duodenum releases it into the bloodstream. You understand? In response to that acid chime. So what does it do? It goes all the way to the pancreas and tells the pancreas, hey, Mr. Pancreas, I want you to produce what? Bicarbonate immediately. Bicarbonate-rich fluid immediately. Then pancreas will produce that bicarbonate-rich fluid. That bicarbonate will now come to that duodenum and what neutralize that what acid chime so that it doesn't burn up the duodenum. Wisdom. Hit your hand in your head and say wisdom. Yolet, say wisdom. Do you understand the point? So that's what secretin does. I need you to know secretin. It's a peptide what? Hormone. Peptide hormone secreted by what? The S cells in the duodenum. You understand? And what it does is, thank you, it goes to the pancreas, tell the pancreas to what? To produce what? Bicarbonate. That bicarbonate that is produced by the pancreas will now come and neutralize what? The chime. So they may ask you a question, when is secretin produced? You tell them secretin is produced when there is an acid chime enters the duodenum. And what is pepsin? Pepsin is a proteolytic what? Enzyme that is produced by the chief cells of the stomach mucosa, specifically the chief cells. Remember, there is chief cell, there's parietal cell. You understand? Pepsin is produced by the chief cell and it's produced in inactive form. It's now activated by HCl that is produced by parietal cell. That's why I don't like the concept that chief cell, is chief cell. Because what it produces is zymogens. Do you understand? But the parietal cell produces HCl and produces other major functioning things like intrinsic factor. That is very important. So pepsin is an enzyme. Secretin what is a hormone. Look at other options. Things like enteropeptidase. Enteropeptidase and pepsin, both of them are enzymes. You understand? Another name for enteropeptidase before is enterokinase. All right? It's usually found in the brush border of the duodenum. You know the brush border of the duodenum. What it does, enteropeptidase, I will still show you as we are discussing because it's in our discourse. Enteropeptidase, it activates trypsinogen and converts trypsinogen to what? Trypsin. Then trypsin now goes back to convert other trypsinogen, autocatalytic effect. That's what they call it. You have to remember, hit your hand in your head and say wisdom. All right. And when you are talking about what's the other hormone beside it? Okay, we already discussed pepsin. So enteropeptidase and what? Pepsin. Then the other one is what? What's there again? Let me see. Gastrin and secretin. Both of them are hormones. Gastrin is a hormone. You understand? Gastrin is secreted by the G cells in the stomach. You understand? And what does gastrin actually do? When it's secreted by the G cell in the stomach, it activates the stomach to produce what? HCl. Do you understand? HCl. That is what produces HCl production. So gastrin by G cell in the stomach. Secretin by S cell in the duodenum against the acid. Hit your hand in your head and say wisdom. Then the other one says gastrin and cholecystokinin. Okay, gastrin. Both of them are also hormones. We already discussed gastrin. You understand? Cholecystokinin is just a hormone that's released by the duodenum to stimulate pancreatic enzyme, what? To tell the gallbladder to contract. That's the idea of cholecystokinin. So cholecystokinin is always produced when we have fatty food. So the gallbladder will press out bile, and bile will come and help us to break down the fatty food. So you need to know the function of all these things. CCK, you need to know that it's a hormone. Gastrin is a hormone. Secretin is a hormone. Do you understand? What else do we have here? We have a secretin and pepsin. We've already discussed these things. So you see, at the end of the day, you understand, we have secretin as a hormone, whereas pepsin is an enzyme. So that is the only correct option. Hit your hand in your head and say wisdom. Okay. Okay, look at this question. You have to be extremely fast. Let me see people that will get this question. This is A. This is B. This is C. This is D. And this is E. Quickly, guys, let's go. Let's go, guys. Quickly, guys. What's happening now? You guys are not in the mood today. I'm shocked, too. I'm shocked. Oh boy. The answer is C. Hold on, let me see. What question did I ask again? The dash regulates digestive tract motility. Yes, enteric plexus, secretion, blood flow. These neurons are found in the submucosal and muscularis externa. The answer is C, guys. You are very correct. Somebody said B. B says central nervous system. No. Remember, this is called the gut brain. It has a brain of its own. All right, the gut brain. I understand. So that gut brain is known as enteric nervous plexus. It's inside. It's enteric. You understand? It's autonomic nervous system. You remember what I told you about autonomic? Autonomic is that motor coming down. You understand, from CNS down to some viscerals. That's autonomic, divided into two: parasympathetic and sympathetic. All right. So that autonomic nervous system is what happens here. That's why we have parasympathetic and sympathetic. Sympathetic when you are having action. You understand? That's why you don't feel like pooing and peeing, doing when you are running, or when somebody is chasing you with knife. For people that watch horror movie, you know what I'm talking about. Horror movie is just very funny. See, I was watching a horror movie the other day. Door will open like this. Instead of you to go and lock door, if I just hear my door open without me opening it, and I get to that door, I will lock it there, bolt it, and I'll call 911 immediately. I'll start calling all my neighbors and shout, help, oh, help, oh, even if it's breeze that blow the door. Me, I'm not taking chances. So. But you people in this country, Somebody will just touch door. Instead of you to go and close it, you take touch. Hello? Hello? Who is there? We touch. Who is there? You don't close door. You don't pass the door. The door will not close. Bam! If the door close, bam, instead of you to start shouting, help, oh, I'm dying, oh, you are still saying hello, hello. You see them going into their bush in front of their house. Hello, something will pass like this, phew, and you still did not run for your life. Hello, hello, inside bush. What am I helloing inside bush? I can't relate. Nchebe, even in the dream, I run, I shout for help. That's why in the clinic they say anything, call for help. In the clinic, you see, even medicine is very intelligent. You say in the clinic, if you're having something, first thing you call for help. These people are busy doing hello, hello, hello until the next thing you hear, chakam, pium, they cut their neck. And that is it. Nonsense. It's true now. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so as we've discussed that, I need you guys remember what I told you about the mouth. The mouth is non-keratinized squamous epithelium, apart from the gum, and the hard palate. All right, remember that. Now, if you look at this place, this is something I need you to understand. That's why it's colored. Lingual papillae are bumps and projections that are the sides of most test boards. Listen, guys, if you look at the slide, you ask yourself, what should I know? Medicine is very broad. That's why we're asking you for rationale. Know the rationale. Now you know that anything bump in the mouth is what? Lingual papillae. Don't call it pimple. In your exam, if they say what is the bumps in the mouth, they put option A, pimple. Somebody will go and pick it. I am sure. 100% confidence, somebody will pick it. Let me hear what the spirit is saying. Yes, Father. Yeah. No, the person is not here. Okay. They say the person is not here. That person that will pick pimples is not here. So please, that is lingual papillae. All right? Extremely important. And you need to know about the body and the root of the tongue. The body and the root of the tongue. So the anterior two thirds of the tongue is the body. It occupies the oral cavity. The anterior two thirds. If you divide the tongue into three, the two that are outwards is what? The body. Then the root is the one inside. You understand? It occupies the oral pharynx. Exactly. You guys should remember that. So we have other papillae. We have the valate papillae. So that papillae, this is lingual papillae, is now divided into different types, different bumps. We have the valate papillae. This valate papillae is V-shaped. They will point it in your, yes, in my dream I run. They will point it in your lab stuff, right? They point it, that V-shaped row of papillae is known as what? The valate papillae. And it marks the boundary between what? The root and the body of the tongue. Remember I said the body is what? Anterior to third. The root is what? Posterior 1/3. All right. Now we have the terminal sulcus. You understand? Which is just sulcus is a groove. You should know that. Terminal sulcus is a groove around that valate papillae. Valate papillae is very important. It's one of the most important types of lingual papillae. Don't forget. All right. Then we have what? The lingual frenulum, just a fold. Now we have intrinsic muscle. We have extrinsic muscles. You need to know the muscles because it comes out in exams, and I don't have time to start showing you a lot of examples. Extrinsic muscles, all these genioglossus, hyoglossus, palatoglossus, styloglossus. Why the intrinsic are all these masseter, medial and lateral pterygoids, those kind of muscles. So those are intrinsic. Intrinsic are contained entirely in the tongue, while extrinsic, they are attached outside, but they have effect in the tongue. You can't be forgetting this kind of thing. All right. Okay, so that is then you talk about glands and tonsils. So this diagram, you must know this diagram very, very well. You must know how to label it. You see, this is the terminal sulcus. You see, this is the valate papillae. You see how it goes, V. You understand? This is anterior, this is body, and this is the root. You understand? So this is anterior to third, and this is posterior 1/3. All right. So this is body, this is the root. This root is oropharynx as well. So you need to look at this thing very, very well. This is fungiform papillae. This is foliate papillae. But this is valate what? Papillae. The one you need to know. And what is papillae? Bumps. Okay. I can't oversay this. All right. So look at the tongue and understand every other thing in the tongue. This is teeth. Everybody knows what it is now. For hold on. So initially, I was telling you about the inner inner circular, all right, of the muscularis externa that is used for for things, sphincters. So look at this question. Let me see. Acid reflux into the esophagus is normally prevented by what? What prevents acid reflux? We have pharyngeal constrictors, we have the upper esophageal sphincter, we have the lower esophageal sphincter, we have the esophageal glands, we have the pharyngeal buccal sphincters. I shouldn't be calling the option, you know it already. So let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Perfect, guys. You guys are so perfect. You guys are so perfect. The answer is a lower esophageal sphincter, all right? Yes. The answer is lower. Okay, guys. So let's go. You know the function of teeth. Everybody understands what the teeth does. Helps to expose the surface of the teeth. Adult is 32. You see, you must know the number. Yes, lower esophageal sphincter. Correct. You must know this number. Adult is how many? 32. Say it. Say it. Adult. Where did they run to again? You guys were almost 30 here. Why did half of them run away? They're tired of digestion? Or it's boring? Maybe it's boring. I understand. Sorry. Me, I'll soon, let me see how many minutes we've spent. 1 hour, just an hour. Okay. I want us to spend an hour, 30 minutes. So I'll soon round up. We can actually continue digestion later. Okay, guys. Children has 32. Sorry, adult has 32. You need to know it's 32. Use your tongue to count your teeth now. In case of if your own is not complete, so that you go and pray for your own to be complete. You understand? 16 mandible, 16 maxilla. All right. And this is how each of them are integrated. So you need to know how many incisors, how many canine, how many premolars, and how many molars. All right. And you need to know this joint. This joint is Gomphosis joint. It's immovable joints. Extremely important. And you need to understand the ligament that joins them together. And you need to know what a ligament is, guys. Okay. Okay. I'm just saying. I know you know it. I know you know it. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask you a question. How many does infant has? Adult has 32. How many does infant has? Type it, guys. Type it quickly. Don't wait for somebody else to type first before you. Type it. Infants have dash deciduous teeth. How many? Let me know if you guys know. How many deciduous teeth does infant have? What am I even speaking? My English is difficult too. Infant has 20. Infant has 20. Oh. Let me just be telling you now. Infant has 20. Guys, look at this question. Let's arrange. Let's arrange this. So I want you to look at this. Look at this. Yes, infant has 20. Look at this. Cement, root canal, enamel. Which one comes first? The question says which is the correct list of tooth anatomy from the most superficial to the deepest. Which one is the most superficial? Guys, come on. I arrange it now from most superficial to the deepest. I've given you cement, root canal, enamel. Give me the correct sequence. Or hold on. Let me see. Okay, let me give you the options. Hold on. You see that question? Let me give you the options and you tell me which one is correct. Hold on, guys. Let me see. I think it has options. B, C, D, E. So which one is correct? Which are following is the correct list of tooth anatomy from the most superficial to the deepest? Quickly, guys. Yes, the answer is D. Yes, enamel. This enamel. You see my hand? Enamel, dentine, pulp. That makes sense. Yes, D. First one says cement, root canal, enamel. Let me see. Cement, root canal, enamel. No, that the first one is coming from outside to from inside to outside. But they ask you from outside to inside. All right. So if you check all of them, you understand what we're talking about. So look at the diagram here. Extremely important that you understand it. This is the crown, this is the neck, and this is the roots. Then this white one you have is what? Is the enamel. Under it, you have what? The dentine. Then if you uproot this, you see the blood vessel, which is what? The pulp in the cavity, where the blood vessel is found. Before you talk about the sulcus, before you talk about the gingiva, before you talk about what? The ligaments, this is the ligament, this is periodontal ligament, this is the root canal here, inside. And this is the cement. Okay, so it's very good that you watch that diagram properly so that you'll be able to understand that anatomy. All right. So this is what I was asking you before. Deciduous teeth. You see how it's written boldly here, and yet a lot of people don't know it. Deciduous teeth is, listen, most of your exams are multiple choice questions. So you must read in between lines. You just don't read superficially and say, oh, I've read digestion. No, it's not enough for you to understand digestion. It's enough for you to what? Read intratheca superficially. You get? If not, like, think about it. Most of you have already read this thing 2 times, but yet you didn't see this particular part, and it is bold here. You understand? So it's extremely important that you understand this. Then talk about plaque. You know about plaque. You know about gingivitis. You know about functions, mastication. Yes, these are intrinsic muscles that helps for mastication. You understand? When you manipulate food, you use what? The tongue as a muscle. You use the buccinator, and you use the orbicularis what? Oris. All right? The tongue, the buccinator, and the orbicularis oris. I call them bots. B-O-T. You understand? Buccinator, orbicularis oris, and what? Tongue. All right? Then that's to manipulate. You want to know if the food is sweet, or before you digest it, you have to arrange it properly. You understand? Then masata temporalis helps to elevate the teeth to crush the food. Masata, masticate. Masata temporalis, masata temporalis, masata temporalis. Then you want to swing it side by side. You understand? You think about what? Medial and lateral what? Pterygoids, and also masata. They help to swing side by side. Is it raining? Sounds like it's raining. So you need to also know about the saliva very, very much, what it does. All right. The constituents of the saliva. You need to understand the constituents of saliva, guys. So these are the things that are found in the saliva. Enzymes, mucus, lysosomes, immunoglobulins, you see? Very, very important. Enzymes, like what? Lingual lipase. Very, very important. Enzymes like lingual lipase. Even amylase is found in the... Okay, let me give you this question. Which of the following is not normally found in saliva? We have mucus, we have lysosome, we have amylase, we have lipase, we have protease. Which one is the answer? Which of the following is not normally found in the saliva? We have mucus, we have lysosome, we have amylase, we have lipase, we have protease. Quickly, guys. Yes, the answer is protease. The answer is protease, all right? Now, I need you guys to know the intrinsic and extrinsic salivary glands. These are the intrinsic, the lingual, the labial, the palatine, the buccal. You understand? All of them, they secrete saliva. But the extrinsic is very important. We have the parotid, this one. This one that swells up when somebody has mumps. You understand? It swells up. It swells up when somebody has mumps. I think I told you something about it, right? Oh boy. Okay. So Classic sign of a mump is what? Parotitis, right? Increases the parotid gland. Mumps caused by mumps virus, right? Very, very important that you know this. And the problem with mumps virus is that mumps virus can one of these classic systemic complication. Oh yes, you're asking about how is it connected to infertility in men. Okay, I will explain. You see, mumps target things, all right? A lot of things. But frequently, what they usually test you when you get to pathology is interaction with connectivity with infertility. You understand? So it occurs, I mean, about more than 30% of men that are more than puberty. You understand? Presenting 1 to 3 distinct. So what it usually does is that it affects the epididymis. It causes inflammation. Mumps that will swell here will also go down and cause what? Inflammation in the epididymis and also in the areas producing what? Sperm, which I'm going to treat you in reproduction. So we call it what? Orchitis and epididymitis. Those are the two things mump causes. Orchitis and what? Epididymitis. So if somebody comes with infertility in the clinic because of swollen infertility in the clinic, maybe later in life, the first question we usually ask the men is, has there been any time when you had mumps? Some of them may not even know what is mumps. So just tell them, have there been any time when you have swollen, mouth like this? If they said yes, then we'll now start investigating in the epididymis to know if it was inflamed that time. And if that inflammation is what is causing what? The current infertility issue. So I need you guys to understand that, all right? So that's why we have MMR, that's measles, mumps, and rubella. The other things mumps can cause. It can even, in women, it can also cause ophoritis. You understand? That's inflammation of the ovaries. Ophoritis. Inflammation of the ovaries. You understand? So in men, apart from what did I say some minutes ago? Epididymitis. Yes, I told you you can say orchitis. This orchitis will lead to what? Testicular atrophy. Your testes will atrophy. Somebody do. You don't need to do. The testes will atrophy. And most times you don't know, they are busy taking care of this one. When it drops, they say, oh, Jesus has done it again. Thank God. And later in life, that person is not able to, fertilize. Though it's rare, a little rare. Like total sterility is rare. Total sterility is rare. All right? So, but it causes orchitis and what? And epididymitis. Afua. Afua. Need Jesus. Like, really need Jesus. So, what I need you guys to mention to me now is the extrinsic and the intrinsic salivary gland. There's a question here that says the dash gland is an extrinsic salivary gland, whereas the dash gland is an intrinsic salivary gland. I'm not going to discuss it. We already have these are the extrinsic salivary glands, the three of them: the parotid, the submandibular, and what? The sublingual. This is the parotid here. If you are seeing my mouse pointer, this is the parotid beside here. Do you understand? Then we have the submandibular under the mandible here. Do you understand? Then we have the sublingual under the tongue. Sublingual under the tongue. Submandibular under the mandible. You understand? Then parotid here. This is the one that mumps affects. All right? Okay. Don't say it doesn't affect women. It affects women because it's ophoritis and happens in just 5% of women. But men is that it happens in 30% of men with mumps. 5% of women with mumps. That's what you need to know. Not generally 5% of all women. No. Okay. Okay, yes. So you need to know that extrinsic salivary glands secrete about 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva per day. You guys have produced a lot of saliva per day. You understand? So when you have too much, you can go and give it to someone if you want. You guys have someone you give it to. So cells of the acini, they filter water electrolytes from blood So your saliva is made from where? Blood. They now add what? Amylase, mucin, and lysosome. It's filtration from blood. Just like, so saliva is filtered from blood, urine is filtered from blood, and spinal fluid is filtered from blood. Most of these fluids are filtered from where? Blood. Extremely important that you guys understand this. And where is the place that makes you salivate very, very well? Medulla oblongata and the pons. Like, for example, if you see food now, like the food my neighbor cooked today, I just, say Jesus, oh Jesus, save me, I'm dieting. Jesus, take control, take charge. I cover my nose with the blood of Jesus. That's what I was saying. Somebody's laughing. Somebody says it's not true. You didn't say that. Anyway, that's beside the point. All right. So the medulla oblongata and the pons, they respond to signals generated by presence of food. You understand? And that presence of food can be odor of food, can be sight of food, and it can even be thoughts of food. Very, very important. Do you understand? Because the salivary nuclei receive input from the higher brain center, which is what? The medulla oblongata and the pons. If they ask you that question, you can never forget. Hit your head on your head and say, I must not forget. That's what you must do now. Okay. So salivary center is in the medulla oblongata and the pons, and the swallowing center is in the medulla oblongata. You should remember this. So this is the pharynx. You understand? Very, very important. When not swallowing, the inferior constrictor, that's the upper esophageal sphincter, because they have upper and lower. The lower is the one that stops food from moving from the stomach to the intestine. But the upper is this inferior what? Constrictor. You understand? Sometimes it helps to exclude air from the esophagus. Very, very important. And at time of death, disappears at the time of death when the muscles relax. So it is a physiologic sphincter, not anatomic sphincter. You guys need to know the difference between physiologic sphincter and anatomic sphincter. You understand the point? Extremely important that you know that. All right. So pharynx. When somebody dies, it disappears. Esophagus is also very important for you to know where it begins. C6, C7. C6, T7. All right. So it prevents food. The sphincter, this lower esophageal sphincter, as we mentioned initially, prevents food from coming back up. So that you don't have GERD. GERD. I don't know if it's GERD or GERD. Pronounce it, guys. Is it GERD or JED? Okay, you say it's JED. Okay. Somebody say, how did you hear me? How did you hear me? This boy has magic. He has black African magic. So, guys, C6 to C7. C6 to C7. If you forget, at your own peril. It says Juju. Hey, God, you will not kill me in this class. Okay, guys, this is swallowing. Another name for swallowing is deglutition. More than 22 muscles to swallow. You get me? And swallowing center is here in the medulla oblongata. Salivary center is here in the medulla oblongata and the pons. Swallowing center is the medulla oblongata. Okay, not JED, it's GERD. Oh, okay. Anyone, as far as you understand me. Guys, these are phases of swallowing. You must know the phases of swallowing. Swallowing has different phases. You understand? 3 phases. We have the oral phase, which is the one you do voluntarily. You carry food and put in your mouth. Then you have the pharyngeal phase. Very, very important. And you have what? Esophageal phase. We already discussed oral phase. Pharyngeal phase is, this one is involuntary. Once you put food in your mouth, it must pass through its pharynx. You cannot help it. So it prevents food and drink from what? Re-entering the mouth, coming back up. You understand? Backwards. Or entering the nose. So this pharyngeal phase prevents that. And at that moment, breathing is suspended. The muscles, infrahyoid muscles, will pull the larynx up to meet what? The epiglottis and cover laryngeal opening. You understand? Then the upper esophagus widens and food is thrown downwards. So that's the pharyngeal phase. Then this is the esophageal phase. How the food moves through the esophagus. Is it esophagus or esophagus? Is it e or o? E or o? Guys, talk to me. Teach me. Is it e or o? Esophagus, esophagus. Esophagus, esophagus. Which one is correct? I wanted to check it. I can't. Anyway, you guys know the best, so you teach me later. So any question, because I want to jump to the stomach quickly and I will stop in the stomach. Or should I stop here? So already 1 hour, 30 minutes. I thought they have another match today. Is there a match today, guys? Mexico, England. Has it started? Nobody has been talking since then. Am I on pause? Oh, England. Okay. So let's try this. Let me see, use this question to know if you guys are still here. But if you don't go fast, I will know you are not here. Look at this question, guys. Look at this question. Very important that you look at it. This is A. Started 30 minutes. Okay, we're almost done. That is B. Let me know how many people are here. That's C. That's D. And that's E. Oh, that's E. So the oral phase of the swallowing is under dash control, and the pharyngo esophageal phase is dash. Quickly, guys. The oral phase of the swallowing is under dash control, and the pharyngo esophageal phase is dash. That's the pharyngeal and the esophageal phase is under dash. Oh, England has scored. Wow. No wonder these people are not answering question I'm asked. Okay, let's go watch ball. So, guys, yes, we are going to stop here. So, the answer to that question is central nervous system controlled by the autonomic reflexes. We already discussed it. All right. So, anytime we have time to discuss, we can start from slide 60. Please remind me so that we'll just jump straight to it and start. Any question for me? Any question for me, guys? No question? Okay, guys. Thank you very much. We tried today. I wanted us to spend just an hour, but at least we spent 1 hour 30 minutes, and we, revise these slides to page 60. I've been able to show you how these questions are made, just in between line questions. I want you guys to use your AI. Tell your AI to generate 50 questions from digestive system for you that you are preparing for your exam. If you finish reading a particular slide or a particular entire slide, please revise the questions. You must revise with questions. You know, that was what I keep telling people. You must revise with questions. You can't just say, oh, I've finished reading. You understand? And it's enough. Oh, it was Bellingham, my boy. You understand? And you say, oh, it's enough. No, it's not enough. Reading is not enough because now all of you read and you did not even know the deciduous teeth. So reading is not enough. You have to tell AI. That's the idea of AI. That's the idea of AI. I'll tell you, I'll talk about that later in the group. That's the idea of AI. AI is there to, tell you what to do, to assist your studying. Do you understand? Just tell it to manufacture 100 questions for you on digestive system for AP2. It will give you the questions. And you could and study the questions, but don't just cram questions. No. Ask yourself, why is this the answer? Do you understand? Why is this one wrong? Why is this one right? That's the most important thing. Why is this wrong? Why is this right? What is the concept? What is the rationale? You understand? I'm a believer in using past questions to study. Oh, it's 2-0. Jesus. I'm a believer in using past questions to study. You need to use past questions to study. You understand? I'm a believer in that. All right? Because past questions will tell you your weakness and your strength. All right? And the more questions you attempt, that's why there are a lot of things like U-word, ACHA, this thing for people preparing for NCLEX. Why don't you use slides to study? So generate questions by yourself, all right? Some of these questions, we generated it. It's not a big deal to do. Okay? So thank you so much. We'll prepare another time to meet. At least we met twice this week, which is what I want. Little by little, we finish it before your exams. Okay? So if you have any question, you can tell me in the next 30 seconds because I'll be going off in the next 30 seconds. All right? Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, not here, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, guys, see you later. I'm going off stream now. Have a nice one.